I'm live. I guess I gotta turn on the light. I'm live on Doc's Corner Chat on YouTube. I don't even know if anybody is on Facebook or my YouTube live stream. I don't know if I could film on Facebook just at the same time I'm filming on YouTube. I don't know. I really need a tech support person. For me specifically. I need to get my robe. Hold on, I'm chilly. Sorry. I don't like having to have a light on. Maybe I can send a message to Facebook. Like, is there a link I could give to people here to ask them to tune in? I don't know how to do this, and I'm so afraid I'm not reaching anybody. Did I already say my name is Dr. Mary Allen? I have panic disorder. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. And I have major depressive disorder. I'm not ashamed. I used to be. I wish it didn't take me so long. To not be ashamed anymore. I'm ashamed that it took me so long. Tonight I had a panic attack. I'm a doctor of psychology. There's more to that, but you don't need to know that right now. I've been to a lot of doctors. I've been in some of the best hospitals in the country, meeting with some of the best psychiatrists, therapists, counselors, nurses. hospital staff, paramedics, all around the country. And I'm so grateful. I wanted to do a live stream, and I don't know if I'm doing it right. My mind isn't thinking clearly because it's wrought with emotion, confusion, heat. My ears feel so hot. And my body is being flooded with adrenaline still. My panic attack started I want to say it was about an hour and 15 minutes ago. The doctors say I have one of the most severe forms of panic disorder, OCD, and agoraphobia. I'm a high-functioning workaholic. I'm incredibly smart. Not in all areas, but I'm incredibly smart when it comes to understanding people, experiences, emotion. Nonverbal language. I love that I have those gifts, those talents. I'm grateful. I fully believe everybody else has talents too, and intellect, and insight, and skills. Everybody. I mean, people sometimes act like idiots. And then I think, why aren't you tapping into your goodness? Like, why aren't you using your insight? Trust it. You have it. I believe that wholeheartedly. Every human being. Because I believe we inherit things from past generations that go way back. Evolutionary, almost. What I have in my body and my personality, my physiology, and my anatomy, everything has been formed from hundreds of years of ancestry and genetics. The wiring, if you will. What's running through my thought right now is I feel thirsty. I still have a headache. I still feel scared. I feel tired. It's exhausting. Panic disorder, for me, is exhausting. Now, some people may say and think, Dr. One, if it's this bad, Mary, if it's this bad, I have friends that call me by my middle name. I miss those friends too, because they're connected to my history. They're connected to the me before I got to a point that I couldn't function. They knew the me with the hidden anxiety, the hidden fear, the hidden OCD, the hidden social anxiety, with the comorbidity of agoraphobia. And they can attest that in terms of my character, how I feel about humanity, people, mental health awareness, advocacy, helping others, saving others in any way possible. It was like that from a child to this very moment. And I will be beyond. It's part of my innate self. I'm so proud of that. What I'm not proud of is how silent I've been about the rawness side of mental health, the side nobody wants to see, the side nobody is comfortable with, the side that nobody knows what to do, nobody knows how to help. They're trying, paramedics, they look at it from a physiological point of view. They help, just knowing that they're there. Cops look at it from an action point of view. They do the best they can. I still think more training needs to be done, and education, not training, education. For everybody, myself included, about mental health, mental awareness, mental health awareness. I don't know why I had a panic attack tonight. Well, actually, I didn't know. I know now because I've been processing. I usually go out at night around 8:30, sometimes 9. Bring my iced coffee, my pack of cigarettes, my THC CBD vape pen. I sit out and I look at the stars. I love the stars. I love the breeze and the stars and having relaxing, peaceful music on. Sometimes I'll listen to jazz. Sometimes I'll listen to a little bit of old school R&B like Phyllis Hyman. Soulful. It tells a story. A story about rage, sadness, isolation, oppression, history, experiences, uprising, uplifting, healing, hope. I love it. It's my time to decompress. My mind, it goes a million miles an hour and doesn't slow down. Ever. Ever. The ability for my mind to retain information is pretty good. I work at it. But my ability to retain experiences and emotion, mine and other people's, which I don't mind. I love, that is the part I love myself the most about, well, you know what I mean. To help others and feel others and love others and just feel them at a soul level, connect with them. I love that. It's my favorite. Like, kind of like when you hug your kids when they're born for the first time. Well, I shouldn't say born for the first time. It's not going like they're going to be physically born again. See, this is how my mind works. It only works that way for myself. When other people say stuff like that, I don't even think that, like, it could be used as a joke, like comedy. Jerry Seinfeld would probably use it. I had a really bad panic attack that I can't get off my mind. And I'm really beating myself up, even though I know everything about multiple mental health disorders. Intellectually, I understand every single one of them from the DSM 5. I know at the highest level how people experience their disorders. However, I don't possibly know at 100%. I can't possibly, because I can't feel and I don't feel every disorder. I only feel in my disorders, and I recognize it. I miss the authenticity of this world. I've always felt from the moment I can remember that nothing ever seemed 100%. I always would think from an early age that when people did things, whether good or bad, that there's more of that within them. I hope for the good, and I hope people who feel that bad can change that, which they can. You just have to do the work. You have to be open to possibility of change. You have to be forgiving of yourself. There's so much more to it. This is about panic right now. It re-traumatizes me every time because my episodes are so severe. So severe. And I'm okay with that. And what I mean by that is I accept that I have panic disorder and my other ones. But I don't fight it anymore. I own it, which makes me stronger to manage. I think we live in a world where people have lost, not all people, I'm just using it as a general, where people have lost the ability to be authentic about every aspect of their being, their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions. And it makes my heart hurt. I want to help every single person. I know it's not possible. So I shouldn't put that hope upon myself. It sure would be easier with a lot of people. Like, if anybody sees this video, I hope you share it. Maybe it'll help somebody in a real, uncensored, authentic way. So I was sitting out tonight. I'm going to describe what happened because I think we need more people sharing the raw component of mental health to create awareness, to create understanding, to look and observe and see what strategies people use to manage. I use every strategy that I have in my toolbox, in my book of knowledge. Every strategy that I can feel. But the first thing I did, I could have, I'm sorry, I could have all the book knowledge in the world. I really don't want that much knowledge, but in some spaces, in industries specific to psychology and mental health and educating people, I'm right up there with the best of the best. And I've worked at it. Every day I'm growing and improving and trying to become a better version of myself in terms of what I know, how I help people, what can I contribute to the world every day. And I love that part about myself. I love the fact that I can love on such a deep level that I don't even think theology could explain it. I don't think religion could explain it. It has to be multiple things that explain it. My panic attack tonight started at about 11:15, I think. I was sitting outside doing what I love, like just listening to music, taking the universe in. Wondering what's it like when the body of somebody goes away, but the spirit is still there. Where are they? Where can I tap into that? But I was relaxed. I was thinking about work, projects, and I call everything that I do work, but that has a positive connotation to me. You work at something, you strive at something. I'm using it in that context tonight. I always say just push a little harder. Just keep at it. Keep going. You have a mission. You have a purpose. This is it. This is your chance to help others. That's why I do what I do. Doc's Corner Chat. I love that. Talk about different topics. Not because I, like the information, but I like sharing it. And I think it'll help somebody. I hope. My live events. Tonight's event was not planned. But what the one on Saturday is planned. Well, obviously that's on Saturday and I already know about it. My mind never shuts off, did I tell you? Never. I never get a break. But tonight, I was just sitting there and I was listening to Phyllis Hyman, Otis Redding, B Tribe, Habib Kote. So many more. I wish I could like crawl inside the music somehow. But the closest I can get is allowing my mind and my body to feel it. My thoughts to process it. And I'm grateful for that. Then I got triggered. And consciously I didn't say I'm triggered. But immediately I felt it. One ear started getting hot. And it's usually this one. And it gets red. It's a little red. It's not as hot. And then I get pressure in the back of my head right here. You can see my ear is still. And then my thought is, I know, here it comes. Then I tell myself, you're going to be okay. It's okay. You know what to expect. You've had these before. You've worked through them before. You have coping strategies and skills. It's okay. Just breathe. So I try to focus on my breathing. I follow a 4-4-4 rule. I breathe in through my nose for 4 seconds. Then I hold it for 4 seconds. Then I exhale for 4 seconds. That time I didn't do it, but that's what I do. And sometimes it helps me, and sometimes it doesn't. And then what I sometimes do is when I feel it coming on, and it's not a conscious decision, I just notice it in hindsight when I process what happened, is I notice that I sit straight up, firm, like I'm bracing myself. That's my survivor in me, ready to take on. Come on, bring it. It's coming. Can I handle it? It's my thought that gets in the way. But there's more that gets in the way. Then I think to myself, okay, it's all right. It's okay. It's going to pass. Sorry. I'm doing everything that you're seeing right now. I'm doing to ward off the risk of another panic attack, because I have been known to have back-to-back panic attacks. It's scary. It's literally the scariest fucking thing in my life. Excuse my language, but I'm going to say it like it is. This is raw, I don't know, footage. I don't know what to call it. It's just raw. Here I am, real, hoping that someone sees this to help others. When I go through the issues that I have, sometimes I go online to look and see, is anybody going through it? Is anybody feeling it right at this moment? Hoping I can connect, because it's a very lonely place to be. There are times I 100% own my disorders. I 100% work my butt off to manage and understand and learn how to mitigate and deal with some of the ugly sides of my disorder. What I feel, for me, I shouldn't say ugly side, but I'm human. And I'm not sure there's many people out there that would feel that the ugly side of mental health and the ugly side of working through a disorder is beautiful. What's beautiful is when you could see the progress of someone working through it. You could see the growth. You could see the rawness of someone managing it, because it makes you think, God, they're strong and they have what it takes. They will do this. They will own their mental health. It will help others. It will help themselves. And ultimately, they will be super proud of themselves. I look forward to that in people. But tonight is a rough one for me. I knew it. I knew the panic attack was gonna basically, my panic attacks, for some reason, remove my ability mentally, physically, especially physically, emotionally, it all of it. My panic attacks takes when it happens and it hits me, it takes my ability to do anything. It takes away my conscious choice to do anything and my conscious ability to do anything. It takes away my voice where I can't speak. I can hear people, but I can't speak. Sometimes I can't even see people. And that's part of my post-traumatic stress disorder. It just happens all at once, instantaneously, simultaneously. And at that very moment, at that very moment, I think about my kids. I think about my grandkids. In that moment. And then I think about everybody who knows me. And then I think about, am I dying? And if I am, to please know how I feel. And the love. I know what it's like not to feel love. And I don't want anybody to ever feel that. Ever. I don't care whether I know you or don't know you. No one should ever feel like they don't have love. And I think about my kids. Mostly my kids. My son and my daughter. Who I'm so proud of. They're wonderful people. They're incredible, actually. And I'm not just saying that because I'm their mother. If they weren't measuring up to being the most amazing human being possible, I would have called them out on their shit. They are beautiful, beautiful human beings, inside and out, head to toe, ear to ear, in the mind, in the heart. And then I think to myself, I hope that if I die during a panic attack, because it feels like it's going to kill me. My blood pressure tonight, and I don't have high blood pressure normally. My blood pressure shot up to 183 over 107. My heart rate was at like 153 beats a minute. I felt like I was going to throw up and pass out. My oxygen was at 99, 98, so that's good. My computer's, the fan kicked on. I don't know why. I wish there was a pause button so I could see why my fan on my laptop is. I hear it. Now, my rational thought knows a couple things. One, I tell myself, Mary, why are you worrying about if you die in this moment, in that moment of a panic attack? Why do you worry if you're going to die? And I worry because it goes back to I don't want anybody ever to feel that kind of sadness, that kind of grief, that kind of loss ever. And then in my mind, I know it, it's a part of life, and I get it and I understand it from an intellectual point of view. However, from an emotional standpoint, I worry that if the panic attack is going to kill me, that it's going to create sadness. And in turn, my mind gets flooded, and more and more and more thoughts get piled on top of that. And then the last thought I have is, it's a combined two-part thought, if you will, is one, will they be okay? I know they will. I mean, intellectually, I know they'll be fine because life goes on after loss. I get that. And they understand that too. But I worry about how it will shape their future. And I won't be there to see it, how it shapes their future. And that scares me. Hence, it's a cycle in my panic. One, irrational thought, some would say. I don't think it's irrational. I think it's feeling. It's raw feeling and truth. That's what I'm feeling. That is the truth. That is the rawness. I've been told, oh, Mary, no one feels like that. I don't believe that. The second or third thing I think about is I'm not, like, please, I'm not ready to not be in this world because I still have so much more to do. I still have people to help. I still have to make a difference and help people. I still have to add to the greater good. I don't know why I feel like genuinely that's my job. Like, I feel like the heavens, like God gave me that job. I'm trying, but it creates panic sometimes because I get triggered. I sit out at night looking forward to sitting out at night so I could think about whatever I want to think about, whatever comes to mind. and at any level, whether it's just a casual thought or whether it's like really deep. I look forward to that. And the sound of the music and the stars. And then I heard yelling in the neighborhood. But it wasn't just like yelling, like loud talking, and I shouldn't even say loud talking. Someone speaking loudly, people speaking loudly. This was angry yelling. This was rage yelling. And it scared me. I heard a girl scream. I immediately called 911. They were very helpful. The dispatch woman was incredible. Hold on one second. I think my dog is dreaming. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. Come on. It's okay. Come on up. This is yogurt. Come on. Hold on. He needs some reassurance. Come on. Look at baby. Come on. It's okay. Are you going to sleep? It's okay. It's okay. We're all good. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. It's okay. I'm okay. It's okay. We're good. It's okay. I'm okay. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. I need to take off my, no. You know what I mean. This is panic disorder. This is an episode that I call it. It may be different for everybody. It actually is different for everybody. to some degree. There are classic signs of panic disorder. Now, please don't be Googling this and being like, I have all those, I must have panic disorder. It's more complex than that. This is my panic disorder and what I go through. My signs are consistent every single time during a major panic attack. The doctors, everyone have said I have the most severe form. Severe. I have been categorized legally as seriously mentally ill. I'm not harmful to anybody. I'm not harmful to myself. Of course, at one point in time, I was. I got triggered by that rage that I heard. And then I saw a man on the street that's probably, I sit at my house on my front patio, if you will, my porch. And I sit with just a nightlight kind of. It's a peaceful, soft light that I have that has pictures of cardinals on the front and kind of Christmassy, but not Christmassy. Just beautiful. And then I saw that this guy walked down the street, and this was the guy who was yelling. I don't know where he came from because when I was sitting outside, I heard the yelling out of this ear, far away, off, not far away, but like on the next street over. And in my mind, I thought, I need to call 911. So I called 911 and I told her. She was so nice. And I was kind of whispering, so no one could hear me. I don't like to draw attention. I know this is going to sound weird, but I don't like to draw attention to myself. But yet here I am on live video. Please don't think I'm being hypocritical or anything, because I'm not. I'm coming at you with a genuine heart. But this guy walked down the street right into the, I don't know, like, what would you call it? Like the silhouette of the street light. I couldn't make him out, but I knew I could see what he was kind of wearing. He was yelling. He walking past the fire department because I could see the fire department from my house. And I called 911 again. And I hear what people may be thinking or saying that, after you called 911 the first time, why didn't you just go inside? Just go back inside. It's late. It was like 10:30 at this point. It was probably like 10:20 when I first heard the scream and stuff. And it was probably like, it felt like 15 minutes later when I saw the guy walking, still yelling. He was yelling, fuck you, I'm gonna get you. Fuck you, I don't have to deal with this. It scared me. They asked, do you want the officer to make contact with you? I said, no, that's not necessary. Only if they feel they need some information. But I don't, I'm not going to waste their time coming over unless they need information, because they got a million other things to do. I trust them. I back the blue. I know what they go through to some degree, but to more of a degree than most people know. I hung up with 911. This time it was the man that answered, and he was wonderful. Very calming, both of them. It's okay, they probably heard it in my voice that I was scared. I got to put a message. I'm kind of all over the place, and I've got to put a message here. I don't even know if people are going to see this. I mean, I'm trying. Maybe I could put a message on the page itself. Well, something posted. I don't know what it was. I'm just saying, hi, everyone. I'm on YouTube Live. I'm switching back and forth between because I can't figure out how to merge to be seen. I don't have my glasses on. Merge to be seen on both social platforms. I'm so sorry. Go to Docs Corner Chat on YouTube. I hope it works. Okay, I'm back. So I just want to get back and share, I don't want to leave anybody like, what happened next? How did you manage? How did you cope? So I'm outside. Now, like I said earlier, I've been through so many doctors and therapists and hospitals. And I'm finally on the right path. I feel so good about it. I feel so hopeful. But there are going to be bumps in the road, which is now through CBT or, cognitive behavioral therapy. I've been able to process my thoughts a bit better as it relates to working through a panic attack. Learning coping strategies. Sorry, I was just looking at yogurts. I love him. And making sure he's okay. So I've learned a lot of coping strategies, but sometimes when you're in the moment, in the heat of a panic attack, where I mentioned, like, I lose conscious awareness of what I'm able to do, think, feel. Like, I consciously cannot make a decision in the moment, in the heat of the moment of the attack. It comes on, and I know it comes on because I feel it. It has a pattern. And I work so hard right when I feel it to not let it exacerbate and get to a point that it does. And sometimes I'm successful, and sometimes I just struggle. I don't even want to put a category of being successful or unsuccessful. I just, because that to me has a negative connotation. Like it's like like success and unsuccess is tied to the value of what someone is capable of doing in terms of self. I just don't like it. Sometimes I'm really good at getting through it. And sometimes I struggle so badly. So tonight I tried and I was trying, and now I called 911 back for the third time. The first time was to report I heard rageful, violent yelling. The second time was to report that I saw a man, about 5'11", looked like he might have been wearing a t-shirt, like, short sleeve and pants, but like he was really lean and lanky, like, you know, as Jim Carrey would say, gangly. Just I don't like that either because that's offensive, and I'm not trying to be, but I'm just saying what I saw, and that's the only way right now I know how to describe because I'm still shaken up. I literally I can sit out on my patio, and the fire department is diagonal. I'm not good at measuring distance. I never have been. But I would say maybe they were 100 yards from where I was sitting. That's where the fire department is. And I asked him to please send, can you please send, can either I walk to the fire department or can you please send someone? And I don't really remember the whole conversation, but we agreed that they were going to send the fire department, the paramedics to me. And I explained that, they can park in the vacant lot in front of me because it's under, there's new construction and no one's there, and it's easier to get to the front of my house. But if you go toward the back, that's where the back of my house is, and that's where the driveway is. It's an interesting design. But it's like the garage is here and the front is here. So the driveway would make sense to be there because you pull into the garage. But anyway, this goes back to how my mind just goes in a gazillion different directions in a moment. Like, I'm not consciously telling my mind to go in a million different directions, but it does. I know it's conscious, and I know all this. I know conscious or the pre-conscious or unconscious awareness, all that stuff. I get it. Collective conscious, you name it. And then I saw the ambulance leave the fire department, and I was happy, like hopeful, like it was like, thank God, they got the call, they're leaving now. And they pulled out. They didn't put their sirens on, which I really appreciated, because in panic, like the loud sounds and but then I saw the guy walk around the corner, because you have to go from the back of the house to get to the front of the house, which is cool, safety reasons. But then I guess, wouldn't the back of the house then be called the front of the house? I know, I'm not even going to go there. And he came up and someone else with him. I think the guy may have been training, but the guy that approached was the one in the, I don't know, authority position, the more experienced one, the trainer. I don't know what they're called. And I remember he was like, hi, are you okay? What's going on? And at this point in my panic attack, I was shaking. Like, I was literally shaking. I don't know why. Like, I was shaking and I couldn't speak. And I couldn't catch my breath. And I could feel my blood, like the pressure of it just pounding. I could feel my pulse. I could feel my ears, getting hot. I need to check on my dog. Hold on. Oh, bless him. He's laying by the front door, kind of sleeping, but not really sleeping. He's kind of in guard mode because he knew something was going on. And tonight, I had him inside. It was his bedtime, and he had a good day at the PARK. And so I didn't want to bring him out with me tonight because I felt like I was going to be okay. Now, my dog is my support. He is my service dog. He is my emotional support dog. He is everything to me right now. Like, always. He's everything. I depend on him. A lot of people would say it's a unhealthy codependency, but like, he saves my life. Usually when something like this happens, I reach out to my neighbor, or sometimes I'll call like a crisis number. Sometimes I text message a friend. I don't know. Tonight, I just had to call 911. And I want you to know that if ever you feel like you have to call 911, do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed, because they're there for you. So the guy he told me how old he was. He was 24, the paramedic. Wonderful knowledge. Like, he knew his shit. He was on point. I don't remember his name, though. I don't remember the other person's name, but I know they told me what their name was. I can't remember that. So my panic disorder causes me to have lapses in my gaps in what I remember. They, everything's going to be okay. You're all right. You're going to be fine. All the reassurance stuff. Sometimes I meet people that tell that to me, just like, it's part of their training, and this is what you tell people who are going through something. I get it. You use every tool you can. And sometimes I've met first responders who I feel it from them. Like they're genuine. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. It's all right. When it happens, it feels like I'm dying. We already went over that. I don't want to go back to that point. Because it's really hard for me. I'm not ready to do that. And then he was talking to me, and he put the pulsometer on me and put the blood pressure cuff on me. And it was interesting because normally they put the blood pressure cuff up here, but this time he put it here, which I appreciated. I don't know, I liked it better. Not that you like it, you know what I mean. It was just more comfortable. And I could feel the cuff, pumping up. And I was scared to death. I was like, okay, here it comes. I'm dying. Here it comes. I'm dying now. I didn't have enough time. And we never do we? I didn't have enough time to do everything I said I was going to do. I'm working at it. I'm trying. And I'm not talking about like, go here, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to dismiss it or minimize it if that's what other people think, because I think that's wonderful. That's like a free spirit thinking, and I don't have that. I just think I'm running out of time, and this is it, and I'm not going to finish my mission or my purpose. I'm not going to have a chance to finish it. And that breaks my heart because so many people need help. No one should ever have to feel alone, no matter what. No human being should ever have to feel alone. No animal. No species. And the guy was talking to me, and I just blurted out, okay, am I dying? Am I dying? Please tell me. Am I dying? Please be truthful. And then my next thought was, they didn't have the kid's number, but my cell phone was right there. And it just escalated. And I wasn't using my CBT very effectively because I felt like I couldn't control it. So maybe I thought, why bother? It's just write it out, let it happen. But in my mind, in my body, in my mind, I mean, I don't know what dying feels like, but that's what I was thinking. Do you see me? Do you see this? This is called agonizing. I don't want to stop this video because I have so much more to share. I'm going to finish this out so you guys can see, anybody can see what happens. I don't know, have people posted videos, the full length video of what happens during panic and panic attacks and recovery? But yet, you know, are they sharing with you the clinical and experiential information and knowledge along with it? I don't know. I haven't looked. I'm too afraid to look. Now, you may have noticed I say I'm afraid a lot, and I am. I'm afraid all the time. Everything, there's a fear base to it. For example, I brush my teeth, and it's one of my favorite things to do because it gets me to focus in the here and now and not perseverate and worry about what happened or what is happening. Or I just brush my teeth, and the sound of it, the motion, like the repetitive motion, and the minty and the clean feeling on my gums. And then also just, it helps me. Okay. It's a coping. Not only is it healthy, but it's coping too for me. It might work for you. I don't know. Can't hurt to try because it's good to brush your teeth. You don't want to brush them too hard or too much because it could take the enamel. It starts wearing down the enamel. But I was brushing my teeth earlier, and everything scares me. Everything. And I felt like maybe I brushed a little too hard, or, like it gave me like that's not how it normally feels. And then, so maybe I was doing it too long, and then my gum was getting sore, like at the bottom. And it scared me because immediately I thought, oh, are my teeth going to start falling out? I've had people tell me, you worry way too much. You worry literally about everything, every single thing. To some degree, that's true. But I don't worry as much when, like, I have my teddy bear. His name is Baby. And he used to belong to my sister. She used to bring it to dialysis with her for comfort, softness. My sister died in 2017. I have yet I have yet to manage that grief because I'm already managing so much, and I'm not ready to manage that because I'm afraid it's going to kill me. But back to the panic attack. So the police or the fire department was there, the two paramedics. And then while they were there, a police officer walked up and I didn't even see him coming. And you have to literally walk like, I don't know, what is it? Maybe 20 yards to get to my property, to get to my front door. Down a sidewalk, past a tree, through a light. You know, when you see the light, big, beautiful tree. Gorgeous tree. One of my favorites. And he scared me and made me jump because I didn't see him. And then all of a sudden, my eyes. Now, mind you, remember that during my panic attack, like I had tunnel vision and almost like blind vision, but yet my eyes were open. It was blackness. That's what I saw. And I saw like it. Think about a fading light that you can control, and the light is on to whatever your comfort level is. And then you take the dial and you just start turning it. Okay. So my light is already in my mind. Everything is about soft lighting. I'm super sensitive to light for some reason. And so when I say like the lights just went out, but my conscious awareness, I knew I was sitting in my chair and I knew the two paramedics were there. But I was in and out of being able to see them and not see them, but hear them. And so in that transition, it feels like that, like out. Then coming out of that darkness, all of a sudden there's this police officer standing there in all black against the back darkness, the backdrop of the night. It scared me. But they checked my blood pressure and it was at like, I think he said 183 or 187 over 107 or 105. And I normally don't have high blood pressure. My blood pressure runs between like 110 to 135, given on what's going on, whether I'm drinking coffee, smoking, whatever, running, whatever. And then my lower number, the diastolic number, is usually it runs between 65 and 75, which is good. And then my oxygen saturation is usually around 98, 99%. Sometimes it dips to like 96. And sometimes, like, if I'm just sitting on the couch and just kind of, you know, focusing intently on something and I forget to breathe, like, sometimes people with panic disorder will hold their breath without even knowing that they're holding their breath. They're not aware that they're doing that until the body gives a physiological symptom and taps you and says, "Hello, I'm going to let you know." And I'll get up and my oxygen will be at like 89. 90, 91, 92. And then, I realized, okay, I must not have been focusing on my breathing. I must have been holding my breath. And so I kind of, refocus. I feel like my face is still really red. I don't know. Anyway, the cop showed up because he wanted, to let me know that they're in the area looking for that guy. I wish I could. I wish. I wish I could have someone here, like a paramedic or a cop or a military person who knows their shit and just be here all the time. Because being alone during these episodes is crazy hard. It's insanely hard. But I'm showing this to you to let you know that it is, you do get through it. It's not as quickly, it may not be as quickly as you want it to be. And you might have to use your coping skills like over and over and over again, and that's okay. And if something's not working, try something else. So tonight, you know, I had the paramedics there. He talked to me for a bit. I told him how badly I felt about, you know, never doing drugs or liking drugs or anything like that. And then at 51 years old, I started using edible, like you eat it. I started eating edible marijuana that has THC and CBD in it, or maybe it just has THC in it in the edible one. And then I have a vape pen, medicinal, that has THC and CBD in it. I think it has CBD in it. I'm sure it does. Because that's CBD will help to relax the body. And at first, I started trying to, with my doctor, dosing it properly. And it was successful sometimes. It was too successful sometimes, and what I mean by too successful, the shit made me so stoned that I couldn't even think straight. But on the other side of it, I felt very relaxed and I felt like I had great ideas. Like, I think about ideas that will help me be a better person, help me be a better leader, a better humanitarian, a better advocate, a better support person. I always think of ways where both throughout the day and at night, more so it's more clear for me at night and more insightful for me at night because I think the THC and CBD shut off a part of my mind that is always focused on work and always focused on strategy and always focused on, what's the best way to go about this to help others? Is this going to be a better way or this going to be a better way? Or like teaching, is this lesson going to really inspire and empower and support the kids in their learning and their growth? And I shouldn't call them kids. I mean, they're They're adults, and but they're younger. Excuse me. But they're younger than me, so I call anybody in their like teens and 20s, and I call them kids. I don't know why. My kids will always be called kids. So when I'm 80 and they're my age, they're still going to be called kids, my kids. But I know they're adults. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. I tend to do that a lot um, when I'm going from a complete, as best as I can, stream of consciousness to get as much of the rawness information to you and experience, if you will. So I don't know if you noticed that I'm starting to go into a different part of my episode. And the episode is where I'm beginning to think a bit more clearly. I'm beginning to control my emotion, my crying a bit more easily. Not that you should ever control your crying. There's different viewpoints on that. But when you're having a panic attack, or you're in pain, or you just feel you need to cry, you cry how you cry when you cry, let it be real, raw, authentic. But unfortunately, we don't, live in a world that supports that authentic expression of raw emotion, raw pain, raw acceptance, raw awareness, all of that. So the paramedics waited while my numbers started coming back down. They asked me if I want to go to the hospital. Now, I've been to the hospital more times than I can count because of my panic disorder. And I know the doctors. They may not remember me because they deal with so much. The nurses deal with so much. And I really wish that more and more people would grow in their understanding of truly what that profession goes through. Um, it's at a level that many of you will never understand because you haven't done the profession, you haven't been in the profession. You've seen it kind of you've seen it because you've been a patient, but we don't get to see the half of what they go through. Same with cops, same with firefighters, paramedics, military, you name it. And I think it gives a raw deal. It makes people, not all people, but it makes people not nice when they don't understand. And sometimes people don't understand because they genuinely don't understand. They need information, they need more details, they need education, training, understanding, support. And some people don't understand because they haven't taken the time to understand. I think that's part of why I'm like, I've never done this before. I've never tuned in live to share this with anybody except, I've shown up at my therapist's office in crisis. I've shown up at, the doctors in crisis. I've shown up at the fire department in crisis. I've never shown up to the world in crisis. I hope no one's mad at me. But if you are, you are. There's nothing I can do about it for not sharing the complexity and the severity of my disorders. I'm using this to hopefully inspire people. Like, it is possible to live and do and make a difference no matter what. It is possible to be the best at what you do and still have issues. The key is to be aware of what your issues are and be aware of how you manage them. And most importantly, I feel it's important to let others know and share with them what you go through so that they can gain an understanding. And with their understanding, they're going to be able to better support you. So the back to the what happened. Um, the guy told the other guy, you could pack, go ahead and pack the stuff up, but let me just watch the monitor for a little bit more. No, it's okay. That was me. Sorry. My dog is incredibly responsive to me and noises. Come here. Come on. It's okay. Were you chewing your bone? Yes. It's okay. Chew your bone. It's okay. Yes, you chew your bone. Yes. Okay. Good. Oh, you just big your. Are you okay? It's okay. Um, so he was watching the monitor and um, he's like, okay, keep focusing on your breathing. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And then I hold it like in normal when I'm not I shouldn't even say normal. I'm sorry I said that. But when I'm not having a panic attack, um, I usually practice my breathing and I use my breathing throughout the day. And it's wonderful. I love it. And sometimes I'll just do, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 seconds in, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale out for 4 seconds slowly. Well, 4 seconds speed. And then sometimes I'll hold it longer because I'm enjoying it so much. And then also because there is a competitive nature about me where I want to see, can I hold it for 8 seconds? And then feel really good because that's good. It's good to do 4. It's good to do 8. It's breathing. When you focus on your breathing is so good for you in so many ways. I love when, people start practicing it and realize the benefit and they like it. And it's a good thing because they're giving themselves like self-care. They're caring for themselves, and that is beautiful. Self-care is wonderful. Don't ever let anybody keep you from the self-care that you need, that is yours, that is healthy, that is helping you. So, he was watching it. My blood pressure was coming back down. I think I was at by the time it started coming back down, they were going to be sticking around for a few more minutes. I was at 140 over 84, and my heart rate was still elevated. It was at 115 beats a minute. And then, but it started coming down. And my heart rate, I think, was probably around 90 beats a minute, if I remember. That's what they said. But, in my mind, I'm like, phew, it's coming down, but it's still, for me, that's high because my body is so sensitive on every level. My body feels like when I feel just my blood pressure going from 120 to 125, I feel it. When I feel it go from 70 to 80, I feel it. When I feel my heart, the the beat, I could feel it speed up. I'm super sensitive. I don't know why. I think it's a gift because then I get to really understand how the human body, how amazing the human body is. Like the self regulation inside the body, like between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems and response is incredible. The regulation, the brain, like everything just works in music and harmony, and I love that. That is beautiful. I'm grateful for that. So the paramedic was getting ready to leave, and we were talking a bit. How you feeling? How you doing? And I said, I guess I should have just gone inside, or I guess I should have just stayed inside. And that's what my agoraphobia does to me is I should have just stayed inside. I knew better. That's what I told that's what agoraphobia does. Like you go outside and like knowing you're going to go outside creates panic and worry and anxiety and stress, and then planning. Like you can't live in your house forever. I've heard that a million times and I understand that. And I haven't lived in my house forever. I had, I'm going to be honest. I thought I was functioning well my whole life. It was I wasn't a great learner because I don't think my brain was where it needed to be to acquire, understand, and impart knowledge. I wasn't there yet because I think the mind is a beautiful thing because it has the capacity to address and control where your attention needs to be. And my attention in my life was about survival. And so unfortunately, it, impacted my ability to be able to learn. I don't get me wrong, I busted my butt and I tried hard way back when teachers were trying to help and understand, and I was in, special learning classes, and I love the learning classes. I think they were wonderful. And I was in it with my twin brother, and that was even better. So, and I had wonderful educators my entire academic life. I mean, I'm always going to have an academic life because I'm always doing stuff to share knowledge, learn knowledge, understand knowledge, impart knowledge. I like it. I talk to everybody, which is odd in a sense that if somebody, like, I don't approach them, but if they turn around and start talking to me and I get a good vibe and I get a good sense, like that gut sense, that innate sense about the genuine care and quality of someone connecting with another person, I definitely hear their stories and I love it. Then we both go off on a tangent, which is a good thing. I don't know why tangents are considered negative. It's a form of expression. It's also feels like, it's a stream of consciousness sometimes. But anyway, I got to get back to my story because I've already been on here, I don't know how, an hour and 50 minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm really not good at the concept of time and like spatial stuff, distance. like, I know how to tell time and I know how to show up for appointments and classes and stuff on time, but I lose my perception of time, especially after an episode. The doctors, the neurologists say my brain is beautiful, wonderful. Sometimes they use, I don't know, like sometimes I want them to tell me from a medical and scientific perspective because I appreciate that. And sometimes they just tell me, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's perfect. And the way they tell it to me, I don't want to hear it because I don't feel like they're being genuine and authentic. So it makes me uncomfortable. But I know where they're coming from. They're coming from a place of wellness and good intention. So it doesn't upset me. And the paramedic, they were packing up their stuff. And at first, the paramedic, I think it was a paramedic, the guy that was helping, like taking charge of the situation. So I sit in my chair and then I have this really cute white wicker table. Everything is aligned. My seat is where it needs to be. The like when I reach down for my iced coffee, because I don't put it on the table for some reason, I just need it on the floor. That I could pick it up easily. My tablet's there. Everything is just right. That's part of my OCD, but it's just right. It just feels good. It feels right. Even though there's really no book or law or anything that says you have to have your table a certain way, I get it. It's an obsessive thought and I get that. And then to make sure everything's right is my compulsion. I get it. I do know. Um I'm not trying to be snarky or anything. I'm trying to convey that I really do understand what's happening, but for me, because it's innate and part of who I am and part of my chemical and biological physio- physiological makeup, I can't control it. I try. I work at it. Like, I have this pen, but more so this pen holder that my son made for me way back when in school. And I set it at a certain spot and I have the pen a certain way and I face it a certain way. But me trying to work on my OCD, I'll put it here or like here. And I'll be like, okay, that's all right. Okay, but I have to put it back. I'm not ready to start messing with stuff like that. I just came out of a panic attack, so I can't do anything that's going to exacerbate and bring it back on, which tells me that I do have control. I have control over my panic disorders, my attacks and episodes and how they play out. But I'm telling you right now, I understand that in the moment, it feels like you have zero control. Zero. And it's frightening as shit. And it's scary. I get it. So he looked at my table and he saw I have my cell phone, I have my tablet, um, I had my cigarettes, I had a lighter, I had an ashtray. And I know I shouldn't. Smoking is so bad, but I enjoy it. It's hard to explain. I enjoy it. There's something about it. I can't explain it. If anybody out there is watching this video and you're trying to quit smoking, or you've been, you know, nicotine free for like a week, and now everything I just said is like, oh man, now I got to go light up a cigarette. I'm really sorry about that. I'm just trying to be open and honest and share. And then I also have my vape pen on the table. Now I've had my vape pen probably since February. I don't know how long they're supposed to last. I mean, I take one hit at night. I think it's like, I don't know, like it equates to like 5 milligrams or something. I don't know. I'm new to this. I have no idea how to do this. I mean, the doctors are helping me, and I talk to them about what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do it. But I'm always afraid, like, what's it going to do to me? What's it like I kind of feel like, for every benefit of something that you do, there's going to be a consequence. Like, I feel like, okay, this might help me get out of panic more quickly. It might soothe me to be able to calm the response in my body. It helps, it might be able to get me back on track with my emotion. I mean, so there are a lot of benefits, huge benefits. But then I always get scared, like, is it going to kill me? Am I going to die? Like when I smoke, I do know that, man, every cigarette or every inhale, that's just not good. But it provides me with a physical comfort that my body feels that it needs when I feel anxious. So anyway, the paramedic, before he was talking, like in the very beginning, he's like, okay, everything okay? Is there anything I can help you with? And then, he was looking at the table like this. A standard question that should have been asked is, I know, are you okay? They're doing that, but they really should have asked, have you taken anything tonight? Have you drank any alcohol? Have you, any of that? Have you been somewhere where there's a chance you could have, been drugged or anything like that? And they don't ask that to be mean or to be assholes or anything like that. They ask that because they need to know, so they know how to help you. And I said, no. I said, I have my vape pen, which is medicinal, and I'm under supervision by my medical doctor and by the psychiatrist, who is also a medical doctor. So I'm using it as prescribed. And then, a matter of fact, at that point, I hadn't even used my pen. I had a 10 milligram edible at 8:30, because I do that at 8:30, and then I relax to enjoy the stars and the music and just calm and decompress. But I did all the right things tonight, and I still had a panic attack. I'm grateful that I haven't had one since February. I've had anxiety and I've had panic that I've been able to manage through my coping strategies. And some of my, like I have this rock here. This is a textural rock. So this goes with me. So when you have anxiety, no matter what the degree of it is, definitely, use your hands. that was something that I learned from my treatment, that to use your hands, do something, whatever, whatever whatever, stick your hands in water, or swirl them around in bubbles in water, and or put them in something mushy, like if you like to bake or something like that, just start baking something or cooking something. um, that's tend to what I do, which is often why you know I'll cook a large meal out of for no reason but other than to help with my anxiety. And then the benefit of that later is that, well, I have dinner or leftovers or something. When I cook, I cook a ton because I like it. I enjoy it. It brings me peace. I also drink, my juice. It's not juice. I just don't know what to call it. I take those packets, those little ones. I take Orange Crush packet or sugar-free flavor packet and dump it in a gallon of water because I don't want to have a whole one because it's too much sugar. And then I take that, shake it up, and then I put it in here. So I need to make sure, and this is another reason I could have had a full blown panic attack tonight, is I do know I've been neglecting myself. I've been neglecting my eating, my balanced eating. I've been neglecting my fluid, my hydration. I've been neglecting my sleep. So all these play a part into what could be an onset, what could trigger a panic attack for me. Um, I don't know how to put this camera on pause. I don't think I can. The only option I have is to end stream, but I'm not going to end it because I need to follow through with this to, you know, it's not fair for anybody who's watching this to stick in there with me and hang in there with me and then for me to just cut it off. That would not be fair and that would not be respectful to you. But anyway, so let me take a sip real quick. I'm still feeling incredibly anxious, but I'm not in panic mode, but I feel anxious. As you probably can tell, this is how my body manifests anxiety and how it deals and manages. So I'm just thank you for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate it. Like you have no idea. Okay. Now here is my next stage of my panic attack is I start getting really tired because the adrenaline that races through the adrenaline is intense. Anybody who has ever felt the intensity of adrenaline, like cops usually feel it, uh military, people who jump out of planes, you know, that it's that level of fear and adrenaline during my panic attacks. Hence why I feel like I'm gonna die. Like I'm dying. That's the severity. So I use all my coping strategies, and one of them is my pen. And I talk to the paramedic, and he, I'm searching for validation in a sense, like permission, because you know, I never want to do anything that's going to impair my thinking. because, and my response and my abilities, because I take so much pride in what I do to help people. And I never want it to, to be perceived as, you know, she's not like, you know, she's not her authentic self. So I don't smoke or edibles or, rollies, what are their pre-roll? What do they call them? Rollies? I don't know. I don't know slang to, this medicinal and recreational drug. I know some of the, street language from being in the field, but anyway, I've digressed. Sorry, I tend to do that when I'm coming out of anxiety and panic like that. It's like my thoughts, they come racing. They're right there. And it's weird because they come from the back of my head. I don't understand that. But anyway, I am acutely aware of stuff like, goes back to I can't shut off my brain. But let me finish because, well, I know you guys have a pause button. You could pause and get a snack and take a breather and come back. But I don't think I have a pause button. So I'm just going to keep going to finish because that's really important for me on many levels. I'm working through the panic and I'm at the tail end of it, and I'm kind of afraid to get out of my chair, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to feel like, if I'm going to feel dizzy, if I'm going to feel relief, if I'm going to feel fear. Like right now, I feel better for a number of reasons because you're there and I'm not alone. That is so important to me. It's because you're there and I'm not alone. That is so important to me. That's probably one of my number one strategies, like that I feel like I need. Like when I go through this, when I feel it from onset, I being alone is so hard for me. Like if I could have anything in the world, if I could have one wish, I would wish that anybody suffering to a degree that it's debilitating like this, to a degree that it creates fear and trauma and all of that and uncertainty, I my wish would be that there's a place that you could go, whether it be online or in person, that you can go to. And I'm not talking like, obviously, if you feel like you need to go to the hospital, go to the hospital. Definitely. They're wonderful. The hospitals are wonderful. Please, if you feel like you need to go because that's what you need and that's what's going to help, do it. Doctors, nurses, they're very, very, very familiar with mental health issues and like what they see and how to manage. So like if I would have gone to the hospital tonight, it could have gone a couple of different ways. Like the paramedics would have taken me and they would have had me hooked up the whole time to an EKG. And I don't know if it would have been a 6 lead or a 12 lead. And then they would have been checking my blood sugar to make sure my blood sugar, wasn't too low or wasn't too high. And then they'd be checking my blood pressure and then my oxygen and my pulse and, all that. They'd be looking in my eyes to see, the pupils for any type of like, are they fixed pupils or are they dilating, and, everything. And I would feel safe because they were taking care of me and looking out for me. And then I get to the hospital and, I go to the same hospital where I live because, well, I know it. So I have less fear, less apprehension, and I like them there. They're good to me. And I either see Dr. Murray, who's wonderful. Sometimes I see Greg. He's the PA. He's incredible. The knowledge that guy has is sick. Like, man. And then sometimes I see, I think you pronounce his name like Dr. Tryman or something, or Tryman. I gotta look it up because I don't want to do a disservice to him. Not that he's ever going to know about this video, but hold on, I just need to look. Yes. Dr. Michael Tryman, Treiman. I don't even know if I'm allowed to, do that, but I'm saying something positive, so it shouldn't be an issue. But I'm always protecting people's privacy and confidentiality. But he's great too. He's just like Dr. Murray, except Dr. Tryman, I call him Dr. Honey because he's a honey. He's a good man. He's easy on the eyes as well. And then the nurses are beautiful women. And, not all women, some are men, and they're all endearing and wonderful. I just love that staff over there. And the triage nurse, her name is Rebecca. So anyway, if I would have gone to the hospital, they would have done a couple of things. They would have been like, okay, we're going to give you a dose of, they would ask me what I'm taking, and they would give me a dose of 1 milligram liquid Ativan, which the generic for Ativan is lorazepam. So they would have given me that, and instantaneously I would have come from here in my panic attack to like here. It's gone. It's dissipated. I'm back to myself. I'm back to being able to function. I'm back to being able to, okay, but I'm exhausted. But yet I'm still feeling like I can function. And that is a wonderful thing. And then once they realize I'm at that point, then they discharge me and wish me well and send me off and tell me if, any reason, Mary, you come back here. You come back for anything. And I don't think they're coming from a place of, wow, the more you come back, the more money we make. No. No, absolutely not. They're coming from a place of love and genuine care, and I appreciate it. And if you want to know what the hospital is, it's, everybody gives them a bad name, and not everybody, but a lot of people. But the hospital is Western Arizona Regional Medical Center. Maybe that's too much information to give out like on a live feed or whatever. I don't know, but I don't care because I'm trying to help. I'm trying to share as much as possible so it helps others. Well, you can see me pulling at my skin, and what that is that is just my after effect of panic, because I still have residual anxiety and the adrenaline inside, but not like it was. So I would have been there and that would have happened. Then I would have had to call for somebody to give me a ride home. Once I drove myself to the hospital when I felt it. Please don't do that. I don't care how much it costs. There are resources that can help. You know, just nothing is more important than your wellness and your health. Nothing. I don't care. You feel like you need to go and you need help and support, you please reach out. Everything always has a way of working out somehow. I don't understand how that is, but there's been times in my life that I've needed help and I've had no money and I went to the hospital and they still took care of me. I was admitted to a psychiatric hospital in my 40s because this all started. I knew I had stuff that was going on, like obsessive thoughts in terms of my OCD. And I knew that. And I knew I was an anxious person. And I knew I lived life in a hyper vigilant stance. Not because I wanted to, but because it's all I knew. That, like, I felt like work was my love and my survivor guide, if you will. Like, that's what was going to save me. But I also felt like I used that as a coping strategy. And then I had my kids, and that was everything about love. Like, I didn't think it'd ever be possible to love ever again to the level and the degree that I love my children. And the only two people I ever felt like that about, three, are my twin brother, my sister, and my nephew. I love my family, all my family. The love is unwavering, like you have no idea. I know you have an idea, but I'm just trying to convey the complexity and the depth. I love all my nephews. I love my niece. I love my children. I'm absolutely obsessed in a positive way. I'm using that term loosely, like obsessed right now. Um, Obsessed about my grandchildren. I could just sit and stare at them and watch them and listen to them all day, every minute, every day for the rest of their lives. They make me, thinking about my family helps me to calm, helps me to do what I need to do to work through what all of you have been witnessing for the last 2 hours and 19 minutes. I'm really sorry. I mean, I don't know why I'm apologizing. The paramedic told me, hey, you know, if you they didn't, that this helps you, the marijuana and CBD at night, then do it. Hell, do it during the day. I don't. I started it at night because it's part of my medical treatment and routine. And I don't want to steer away from that. I think my Alexa music turned off. Hold on one second, please. Alexa, play mindful meditation music. So I'm using my coping strategies. Music, hydration, my teddy bear, his name is Baby, my dog, his name is Yogurts. I call him Yogi sometimes, but I like calling him Yogurts. Yogurt. Sometimes you put an S on the end of it because it's just cute. This dog saved my life. I saved his. We rescued each other. I'm obsessed with him. It's the kind of love that I've been telling you about, that I love people with. I have this electric burner right, it's like right here. You can't see it, I know. I'm just trying to be as real and authentic with everything. So I have that, and right now the wax that I'm burning is brownie pecan, and it's so good. It's so soothing. I love sweet food, so maybe that's why I like it. I don't know. It calms me. I don't know. It reminds me of like the kids used to come home if I could sense that their day was a little rough, or if they're having a hard time. Food and taste, you know. I wouldn't say use food as like an emotion. Don't go eat because of like emotional eating, because that could cause concern. But eat because the taste, maybe the enjoyment, the peace, the comfort that it brings you, but a healthy comfort. I'm not dependent on it. I'm mindful, so it's all in moderation. I do that. I have this butterfly right here that a friend of mine gave me. I love her. She's a wonderful person. And I don't know if you could see it. You probably can't. You need to put it here. It lights up. Now, the only thing that I have a hard time with is how fast it's going, because it makes my response in my body go fast. But when it's slow light, it's beautiful. And the colors, I love it. So I have that. I also have a Zen garden right here, small. If I pick it up right now, my hands are shaking. I also have a Zen garden right here, small. If I pick it up right now, my hands are shaking. Then I'm afraid I'm going to dump spam. I'm afraid I'm gonna dump sand all over. And I don't want to do that, because then I'll get worked up and my OCD will kick in, and I'm normally now not up late like this. I'm in bed by like 1:30. I start my routine at 8:30 to go to bed, and my evening and stuff, and I'm 100% like, this is my routine, this is what I do. The only time I feel like, I have OCD all the time. It never leaves me, but I try to manage it when I'm around people, because I don't want it to impede their way of doing things, their life, their schedule. I'm okay. I mean, people make fun of it sometimes. And I think that's, you know, I don't think that's very nice. But sometimes in dealing with stuff, you got to use humor, and humor helps. So when I'm being obsessive and compulsive, sometimes I make fun of myself and I make fun of my disorder. And I'll be, it'll be a lot of it is self talk. And I don't know. It's hard to explain from my person, for me. If somebody presented with, to me that they're going through issues, whatever it may be, I listen to them with every fiber of my being and take it all in. I have a wonderful ability to be able to track information in my mind. Like I can track word for word a conversation that is said to me, and I'll remember it for forever. That's how beautiful the brain is. I got so much. We all have so much information in there. It's just beautiful. So I have that, and then I have my dog who's on the floor right next to me. When I came in, he knew something was up. And when he was on the inside, I was on the outside of the house, and he heard whatever. He was barking, but it was a bark I've never heard before. And he's 2.5 years old. And it was a bark for like, please let me out there. I'm supposed to protect you. That type of a bark. Finally, I get to do some work. That's kind of what it was like. It was a bark I've never heard. And then, I got ready to come in, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm not ready to go in yet, but I'm not able to stay out here either by myself. So I came in, and as soon as I walked in my house, I emotionally collapsed. I was still shaking, I was still trembling. The panic wasn't as severe. So let's look at it on a scale. The peak of panic was at like it's 100%, and then it starts to settle down, dissipate a bit, and by the time I got in the house, I was probably at like 90%, maybe 85% panic, which to me in my book tells me, okay, you're going to be okay, but you're still in for a bit of roughness, but it's okay. Now it's okay. You're not dying. The fire department checked your vitals. They checked everything. You're okay. And then I opened the door and yogurt was right there. And I feel bad because I couldn't get out of my chair to let him out when he was barking to come help me. And that's his job. And I wanted to. I needed to, but I couldn't. He is I felt like I caused him a lot of stress, a lot of distress, like unnecessary. I came in and I don't remember a whole lot. I remember coming in. I remember shutting the door and locking it. And I know I had stuff in my hand from being outside, and I had that, but I couldn't figure out how to put it down. Like, I couldn't figure out what to do next, even though I do the exact same thing all the time. I come in, while I'm taking off my shoes, I lock the door, I lock the bottom lock and the top lock, and then I walk in and I go, you know, yogurt's, right there. Sometimes he's out with me, sometimes he's inside sleeping because he's tired, but he's right there. And then I set my stuff down, I put my tablet in the living room, I put my phone in the kitchen on the charger. I put my coffee container next to the coffee pot. I put my smokes and the lighter in the left drawer in the first basket. This is my OCD. It's interesting how fascinating how it all blends together. Sometimes I feel, like when I have OCD and I'm doing OCD, compulsive behaviors, I'm not having panic at that moment. But when I have panic disorder, when I have a panic attack and a panic episode, all of my mental health issues come into high alert. I understand a lot. I really, really do. But sometimes I don't understand why that happens from a scientific medical perspective. So, note to self, I need to ask the psychiatrist about that. He would know more, or the neurologist. I'm knowledgeable, don't get me wrong. When I went through school, I had to learn so much information and process so much information. But our brain has, we can retain the information, but in terms of recall and understanding, there's a process. So, but this video isn't about that, so I'm not gonna do that. This video is about showing you what the news and TV doesn't show you about mental illness. So we have to take it upon ourselves to share. The more we share, the more we open up about every facet of mental health, mental wellness, mental health awareness, coping strategies, diagnoses, treatments, experiences, A to Z, 100%, everything. The more we do that, the stronger communities will be and people will be in better positions, so that way, you see someone you don't even know struggling, you can help. You see someone struggling that you do know, you can help. Bottom line, doesn't matter who, where they came from, their religion, their race, their creed, their profession. They're a human being. Everybody, you're human beings. And we have a social responsibility to help in the ways that we know how. Now, I can't help people in every single way. I don't prescribe medication and leave that to the psychiatrist to do, but I can help in other ways. I'm incredibly mindful and knowledgeable of mental health and mental health treatment and mental health
complexity and mental health support. Couple that with education and understanding theory and methods and the best practices to impart knowledge. And then couple it all with experience in the field, experience in more situations than you can possibly imagine. So I like to think I bring something to the table. And I won't lie. I mean, there's a bit of worry in the back of my mind right now that, you know, my that I'm risking, my reputation but I've just had enough. I don't care. If people can't love me for being real and authentic and showing the complexity of who I am and what I go through and how hard I work and, you know, everything, then you know what? They obviously don't see that value in me. And that's okay. That's their choice. But I'm hoping and I'm confident that this video, live stream, whatever you want to call it, will help more people than it won't. I came inside, I hugged my dog. Man, did I hug him. And he knows. Now, the thing about dogs, well, my dog, but I looked it up and researched it. So my dog will hug and kiss people face to face, put his paws on your shoulders, lick you if you let him. He just wants to love you. I mean, that's what he wants to do. It's nuts, really. I mean, he's obsessed, like me, I guess, about he just wants to love. That's all he wants to do. But then when it comes to me, he loves me. I know he does. We play, we have fun. He's everything in my life, uh, in my day to day life, not everything in my whole life. I mean, my kids, my grandkids, my friends, and the community and helping people. But you get it. You know my point. Um, and whenever I want to give him a hug or I ask him, give him a hug, I sit on the stairs, the bottom stair, and he turns around and he puts his butt towards me. Like, here's your hug. It's funny, right? Now that I said that, I think it's funny. Like, now that I just had an awareness of how that came out, that's pretty funny. But so I looked it up online and I'm like, why does my dog always give me his butt when I ask him for a hug? Like, I need to know the answer. And it said that when a dog does that, that is their way of showing that no matter what, that they trust you so much, 100% more than they trust anybody in the world, that they're making themselves just as vulnerable to you as you are making yourself to them. And that's why we have the bond that we do, because I depend on him um, for so many things. And sometimes it's not healthy. It's a codependency. I get it. But he is my service dog. He is my emotional support dog. Why wouldn't I depend on him? So I hugged and hugged and hugged, and he was pretty wound up because I was outside and needed help and he wasn't there. He couldn't get there. Thank God he didn't break the window, like to jump out, We hugged and hugged and hugged. And I was still in bad shape. I wasn't in emergency shape, but I was still in severely bad shape. And then I was trying to do everything I can in my normal, I got to stop using that word normal. And I do everything I can. I was trying to do everything I could in my regular routine. My OCD, it's it's innate. I just do it. And with no variation, none. I do the exact same thing at the exact same time, the exact same night, in the exact same way. The key is that I recognize that, and I'm trying to, work my treatment to relieve that, but I don't always succeed. When you see me taking deep breaths like that, I don't know if you've noticed. Um, for me, that's anxiety. Like I feel it. It's okay. I don't know what it's just. That's my body response. Like I'm. So here it is, around 3:48, I think, in the morning, my time. And I think I came online almost 3 hours ago. So does that give you insight, I hope, into what someone goes through? This is what I go through. And I know I'm not alone in panic disorder. And this is what other people might go through. So I'm asking you, please be patient, understanding, loving, kind, supportive, helpful, everything. Be you, be authentic, be caring. All of us are capable of love, kindness, and caring, and doing the right thing and helping. Sometimes we don't help because we're scared. We don't know what to do. I can tell you right now, when somebody is having a panic attack, just you being there, knowing that you're there, knowing whether they text, call, ring your doorbell, you know, well, you can't ring my doorbell because if somebody rings my doorbell unannounced, like I'm not expecting them, it triggers panic. So please don't do that. I don't mean to be mean or anything about that, but I do know it's a trigger. And so the best way I've learned to manage that trigger is to share with people. Please don't show up at my house unannounced. Please don't ring my doorbell. None of that. Don't do it. Not even like just don't do it. Please. Now you can text me, you can call me, and that won't freak me out. But ringing my doorbell does. And that goes back to trauma. So just please, I'm asking. Um, I put my stuff down. I was fumbling through that. Like I wasn't as smooth as I normally am in my routine. Um, it wasn't as exact, which was upsetting to me. Um, it was upsetting to me because it's my compulsion to do that. And then I start obsessing about it. So it was upsetting because I couldn't do exactly what I normally do because I had a greater thing that I needed to do. And that was to get online and share with you what I was going through. Because I'm doing my best with workshops, live, events, online stuff. I'm doing my very best. And I know I'm helping people. And that makes me feel amazing. because I see them feeling better. I see in their eyes that the relief that they have, that they get when they get the help that they've been so desperately asking for and needing. I don't know. If there's any wonderful gifts that you can give people, I would give them hope and love. Hope and love and belief, support, but hope. Yeah. I also have the uncanny ability to remember movie lines from every single movie. Whether I've seen the movie, a year ago or 40 years ago, 50. I would have only been one, so it would have been somewhere. It would have been somewhere in my brain, but I wouldn't have been able to articulate it back then. I'm sharing all this with you because this is what's inside my mind. And I believe there are multiple components of mental health that, if we can understand how someone processes information and truly sit and listen and understand what travels in their thoughts and how rapidly and what the content is, we have a better understanding of that person. We don't have obviously a full understanding, but we have a clearer picture of what that person may be going through and dealing with and handling and managing and struggling with and all that, all the above. So I'm big about, I never get mad or upset or when somebody goes off in a tangent about whatever, they're a human being and screaming at them. I don't like that. I don't like seeing people be mean to people in any way, shape, or form. I actually, it it makes my stomach feel icky, like it makes me feel sick to my core. I get queasy when I see it. Just be nice. Just be kind. You don't have to like a person, but it would be nice if, no matter how you feel about a person, that you could still be kind and understand that we're all human beings with complex thoughts, emotion, experience, stressors, triggers, desires, coping strategies. We have so much that we could share from ourselves with others that would be invaluable. Would, like, if somebody emailed me or called me or texted me and or sent me a video and said, you know, Dr. Allen, I heard, or they might call me Mary, I'm fine with that. Call me whatever you want. Um, but don't call me anything degrading. Like, I don't answer to Sweet Pea. I don't answer to Honey. I don't answer to Baby Doll. I don't answer to, I answer to my name. Now, if you're, part of my family and, you know, my family, they call me, you know, I don't, well, my kids call me mom, or they say, hey, I'm okay with that. I like it. But if you're at a market or something and you see me, like, don't call me anything but my name if you know it. And if you don't know it, just say, excuse me, can you help me with something? You can call me ma'am. I'm okay with that. Or call me miss. I'm okay with that. Because, you know, kind of sometimes you got to have something to get someone's attention. And ma'am is, I feel, a sign of respect. And sir. So I don't know if you watched this video from my Facebook and here, like on YouTube, but that hopefully you see the curve and the, you know, everything with the panic. And I'm still a bit foggy because I'm processing so much at an amazing rate, which we all do. We just sometimes don't acknowledge it or recognize it. I refuse to let my panic disorder and my agoraphobia and my obsessive compulsive disorder and sometimes my depressive episodes, because I do go through them. I refuse to let it get in my way of helping people and making a difference and sharing knowledge and in mental health. It's that important to me. However, I also, when the episodes do happen, I have to remember to be mindful of myself and do what I need to do. And I just kind of feel like I have all these coping strategies, some of which I shared. And then I just kind of feel like, yes, I want to help. Like tonight, I feel like at first I felt like I needed to do this to get create awareness because I've looked online for videos and help, and sometimes I don't find it. And that was my core feeling when I did this, and my core like thought. But now that pretty much, I'm probably about maybe 25% finished with my panic. And I don't mean to use finish like I could tell, yeah, but like I'm far different than I was at the beginning, 3 hours ago. So I want you to see the full process because although in the beginning it seems incredibly, it doesn't just seem, it is incredibly scary and it's incredibly alarming and it's incredibly real. But I want you to know, again, any concerns, always call 911. Have them check you out. Have them do all their things that they do. There's nothing wrong with doing that. For me, I do it because it helps me. Sometimes our culture, our society has shamed people for seeking help. If you broke your arm, you were in pain. I mean, what would you do? Would you go to the hospital to seek treatment and to get help? You need stitches. You're bleeding. You know, your hand. I cut my finger one time, 2 fingers in here, And it just kept bleeding because it was there. And yeah, I went to the hospital. It's the same with mental health. Why can't we get away from that? Like as a society, why can't we get away from the fact that people are so silent about getting treatment for mental health, or that they experience mental health issues, or that they're working through mental health issues, or that they're in recovery programs for their mental health issues, or that they're attending groups? I don't understand with how much we face in this world. Man, the one thing that you can do that's free, doesn't cost a penny, is to reach out to somebody that you trust. Reach out, do what you need to do and reach out. That person may not be available at that time. Reach out to someone else. All I'm asking is please reach out. Let's change the way mental health is perceived. Change the way how mental health is addressed and spoken about. You might be surprised that when you find your voice and you say, I've had enough, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, but I'm going to trust that it's going to be okay to reach out to someone. I'm going to share with you right now. If you reach out to me, I will do everything I can to help you and support you and be there for you. Sometimes, though, if you reach out, I might be sleeping, because I do get tired. But you can, reach out. If you want to reach out to someone who's maybe online that or, a national association that has the 1-800 numbers, or chat with a therapist online. Another good thing too is there are programs that are starting where you can pay a certain fee, and if you need like immediate doctor online, or immediate therapist or online, it's a small, nominal fee. It's not going to make or break you like a hospital visit or, stay can. If and there's resources. If you can't afford that, you can get resources that will help you connect at no cost to anybody that is available to help. So I'm going to ask this question again. Why? Why are we still so far away from creating the clarity, the space, the freedom, the safety to share and talk about and reach out for mental health? People are trying to, in leadership, they're trying things, but they're trying to do the same thing over and over again in a million different ways. That's not working. They have the same idea, but it's not working. They got to stop. They got to get off the hamster wheel. We need to try a new approach. And if my example helps to get people talking and to build that trust and build that safety and build that security to reach out to each other, then that's a good thing. If I didn't have you guys out there, it would have been painfully difficult. And it was painful, don't get me wrong. But I'm so grateful I had you out there. But I'm so grateful I had you out there. Like I said, the number one thing for me for panic is please don't let me be alone. Once I work through it, the episode, I'm perfectly capable of functioning, doing my work, doing my projects, playing with yogurts, checking email, relaxing, having snack, back in my routine. But when I'm in panic, I need help. I take medication. I take Paxil, 40 milligrams, once a day. I take it at night. I take lamotrigine, which is twice a day, 25 milligrams, one in the morning, one at bedtime, one at 11:30 is when I take it, but I don't go to bed till like 1:30. I take trazodone. Only, trazodone is a wonderful medication because it has dual capability, if you will, for treatment in terms of depression and anxiety, and also sleep. So, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm starting to get tired, which means I'm starting to feel relaxed. But I can feel relaxed without feeling tired. But tonight, because of the panic attack, I'm exhausted, utterly exhausted, because that's what it does. All that adrenaline, everything that's going on in the body, from the mind to the toes, to the head to the toes, everything, it gets used, if you will. Everything gets like, the panic goes through everything. It creates the wave through everything. You feel it everywhere. And then the residual, and then the processing. It's important to process, like I'm doing, but yeah, I'm processing not with the intent to, ooh, let me process. It'll be good for me. It'll help me. I'm kind of coming from a place like, I know I'm processing, but my intention is to put this out there so other people see it and it will help them so they're not alone. Because being alone in a panic attack is the scariest thing for me. And I would guess that being alone in a panic attack is scary for a lot of people. I wish I had somewhere to go, somewhere to run to sometimes, somewhere safe. I think it would be wonderful if police departments and fire departments had the option for people, like a program for them to design. I know they have to be on call and stuff like that, but like rotate a team that for people that suffer from panic disorder, similar to the extreme that I do, that we have a safe place we can go to without having to call, without having to make an appointment, without anything, to just go to and say, hi, I'm having a panic attack and I need your help. Do you realize how far something like that could go in terms of how helpful that could be? I love our first responders. I love them. I am grateful, humbly grateful every single day for them in all levels: police, fire, paramedic, military. So why can't we be like first responders in mental health? You see someone struggling, help them. If you're struggling, please reach out to help for help. I don't know. Maybe I run a group called Mending Minds, Mending Hearts. I run an organization called Cornerstone Community Care and Wellness Group. I love it. I love everything. Love, 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 love. It's like my core purpose. I'm innate. It's my innate purpose. But I wish there was a way that we could go somewhere, people who are struggling because of mental health issues, to a place where we're safe and we can walk in and we could just say, hi, I'm struggling with mental health issues. I'm struggling with panic disorder. Now, panic disorder doesn't always end up leading you to a hospital, although it feels like, yeah, you need to go. And if ever you feel like you need to go, go. Don't question it at all. But I wish there was a place like a bookstore, like a quiet bookstore with beautiful music, dim lighting, fragrance that is peaceful, that appeals to the senses, where people can just show up and say, hi, I'm Jane. I'm dealing with panic and I don't want to be alone. And then the people that run this place are trained, they're clinically trained to help in crisis response. And these individuals immediately get the person water. Even if they don't want it, water is key. You know, whether they can hold the bottle and feel it and feel the texture and hear it. And then eventually, when they're ready, they'll take a sip, and that's good. Or offer them a coffee or a cup of tea, maybe a cookie, a biscuit of some sort, just something. And invite them, here, please sit down. Just let's sit down. Everything's okay. You're going to be okay. You're not alone. I think places like that need to exist for mental health. Because sometimes we may want to go to the hospital, but feel like we don't need to go to the hospital, but we have nowhere else to go. So we go to the hospital just because I need to feel safe. I need to feel, good. My vitals need to be checked. I need to be around somebody. But then that's costing, you money, the hospital money, sometimes tax-paying dollars, because a lot of people don't have health insurance and they can't get the care. I mean, they get the care, but it comes at a big expense. I think this solution, there's hundreds of solutions that we have yet to explore, that people have yet to tap into and be like, I've got this idea. Maybe this will help. Maybe this would be good. Maybe this would be good. Something from each community. But I really think, like, we have all these coffee houses and quick fix things. I think we need a place where people can go to and it's relaxing. There won't be alcohol, no illicit drugs allowed. Have, a partnership with the fire department that if someone shows up, whether, intoxicated or in a state of delusion or, uh, you know, medical emergency, overdose, whatever, then like in the process of an overdose, then we have a direct line to the fire department to let them know. But this place would still be a place for people to come to and they can get help in one way or another. And then individuals who feel like, this is good, this is what I need, let's sit down. There's someone here to talk to me. And I'm feeling relaxed. And maybe there's a fire burning. Maybe there's, something, the smell, the music, the candles, the taste of the coffee, every detail could be used as a coping strategy for people. Something will help. It may not seem like it, but it will. I'm a firm believer. I know it's not only a belief system, I know this scientifically. So maybe my goal is also another goal is to find the capital to create something like this, some crowdfunding or something, and a grant maybe, and create something like this and try a test location for like 6 months and see how it works and see and you know not document the people's names or confidentiality of what they're sharing, but document like how many people utilize the service, how many people are benefiting from the service, you know, how successful is the service delivery? What are the, financial implications? Are we going to be able to, you know, make this happen? And maybe it wouldn't be a for profit, but maybe a not for profit. And then donations or anything that we receive can go back into this place. And then it can also go into another program for mental health, which I think would be great. And then that program would take off. And then the other program, and it just keeps building. I know that I can make this happen. I don't know how, but that's how passionate and tenacious and driven and caring that I am about making sure that every person, every single person, every human being gets the help that they need, gets the support that they need whenever they need it, for however long they need it, and in whatever way that works best for them. I really appreciate you hanging in there with me. Thank you for putting up with and hanging in there with my panic and my processing of it. Processing is key. Acknowledgement is key. Admitting it is key. Reaching out is key. Processing is key. It all matters and it all has value and it's all important. So I want you to believe that there's hope. There are options, there's things. And we will come together. All of us will get on the same page at some point about the best practice, options, strategy, delivery, treatment to help each other. Plain and simple. If we stop making things about money and policy, and I understand why we have those in place. We need them in place, but it doesn't need to be the only thing in place that regulates things. There's other things involved that I feel decision makers and leaders are missing the boat on. If you take care of the human being, the person, everything else will fall into place. Well, I've kept you on for 3 hours and 17 minutes. And I'm sorry. And I'm thankful that you were there for me. And I hope my sharing of panic disorder, and panic attack, like that was raw footage. I'm hoping it helped you. I welcome you to reach out to me, please. If you have questions, or just if you want to, it'd be nice if anybody out there, saw this and reached out and just was kind of like, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? Are you okay? What happened? I'm not going to get into like a 3-hour litany about what happened. The video's there. But if anybody wants to reach out and talk and whatever, connect, I would love it. And I would be so proud of you. That would just be amazing. Good night. Thank you for being there.